everybody. Welcome back. First off, I just want to say thank you to everybody for entering and subscribing on Instagram for the Casio Duro giveaway. Winner is going to be picked tomorrow. If you're watching this in the future, then this happened already, but until then, stay tuned tomorrow on Instagram. I'll be giving out the winner. Got a cool one for you today. I've been looking to get my hands on this for a while. This is the G Shock Casioak, as they call it. It's the GA-2100. Jumping right in, it's a pretty standard Casio box, kind of like a black and white camo, kind of dirty looking box. It's a cool pattern for what they're going for. Taking it away and popping it open here. It doesn't really come on a pillow or anything, or at least mine didn't. It just comes in the box like that. Very simple. And there you have it. It's the GA2100. I went with the clear finish. It is called skeleton to them. Obviously, it doesn't have a movement, so that's not what it's referring to, but they refer to this as the skeleton look. It comes in a bunch of other colors. It comes in like black, red, I think a green and a blue, some metal options. But my plan with this is to do some of the mods in the future, so that's kind of why I went with the clear, because I like the clear. It's not plastic, they call it resin, but it feels plastic. It is surprisingly soft. It's very malleable. It's very movable. I assume it's going to get kind of scratched up and dirty easily over time, but it's not really going to be too much of an issue since I am going to mod it. But first impressions are it looks really clean, it looks really nice, and I think the clear works really well for it. Jumping into just some of the initial kind of details on this watch, it is 48.5 millimeters wide, lug to lug or whatever you would call it. It is 11.8 millimeters thick, which isn't too thick. It's a surprisingly thin wearing G Shock, which I like. It wears much smaller than any other G Shock I've ever worn, which is very much kind of what drew me to it. But that's kind of my favorite part, and it's only 51 grams, so it is super light. It's a very minimalistic face. As you can see, it does have not a digital time at this display. That has the date, a running second hand, and then a normal watch, hour, and minute hand with markers around it, and the day of the week. I will say one thing I've noticed is because of the hours being dark and the face being dark, it is a very hard watch to see the markers during the day or in dark places. Sure, there are plenty of watches that don't have that many markers, and the hour hand and minute hand are very easy to see, but it is not the most easy to see face. They do make a variety that I think looks very similar, a dark face and light markers, but in the day it is kind of difficult to see it. I'm not going to dive into the exact specifications of this watch. I'll put up some B-roll shot now, just tell you. It has a world timer. It has a 1/100-second stopwatch. That I believe can go for an hour, a year, I think, running. It has a timer. It measures in seconds. It has a 5 daily alarm setting. It does have double LED light. I'll show you that after. I'm not a huge fan of it. It has a full calendar, good until the year 2100 or 2099. And it does have 24-hour format also. Sorry, I was just reading it off the list and got a little distracted there. The weird thing is it does say its accuracy is only plus or minus 15 seconds a month, which I think is a little weird because it's a digital watch. It should be borderline perfect, and I'm sure the new Bluetooth version of it is, but that kind of just caught me by surprise. Here's a nice up-close look at the face. Very simple, but very nice. The case, I think, is very well put together for being just a plastic resin case. The back is also very simple, just as carbon core guard, which is one of the kind of like the movement of this. It's a Japanese movement. Interesting that it's cased in Thailand, but there you can see it's the GA2100 SKE. That's referring, I believe, to the clearness. They're all the GA2100 series. And then you would just take those screws out back there to remove the actual case and band, and then you could mod it if you wanted to. But it's very clean, very simple. I'm not going to go through all the modes with you, but here's how, all the buttons, that's what you would use to adjust them. But I'm just really kind of happy to finally own one of these. And yeah, let's jump into what it looks like with light and all. Okay, so here's the loom. As you can see, it's just the minute and hour hand, very basic. Everything you would kind of expect from it. But the thing I don't love is you hit the light. Gotta find the actual button. Sorry about that, guys. Hit the light, and the light is very quick, very brief. Even if you hold it, the light doesn't stay on. And I don't think it is really that great coming from that one little corner spot. So I'm not a huge fan of the light and how it looks. I do wish that it was a little more spread around, like the bottom left corner over here by 7 o'clock in to see. You don't really see it very well. It kind of casts a shadow. But I guess that's really not what it's for. You're going to look at it quickly, but if you're doing timing and all that kind of stuff and you want to actually use the watch for G Shock purposes and, kind of keep looking at it in the dark, you're going to have to keep hitting that light button over and over unless there's a feature that I'm, missing out on. Here on the wrist, I think is the strongest look for this watch. I do think this watch is incredible looking on the wrist, and I do really like it in the clear. I think it makes it kind of subtle. But you can see it doesn't sit very high on the wrist, and I think let me kind of adjust the camera here a little bit for you so you can see it from the side. But I do think the Casioak, the octagonal shape, I think it's really nice, and I think the dark face actually looks really nice wearing it, aside from any issues of actually seeing it in low lighting. I do think the face is beautiful, and I think this is a gorgeous watch, and I'm happy that it doesn't sit very high, and it wears not really like a G Shock, which I think is definitely the biggest plus that this watch has. I know this was a short video. I didn't really want to go too in depth here, but just kind of overview. I really love this watch. I bought it definitely for modding purposes, which I'm definitely going to do. So be on the lookout for the next video where I do that. But I do think this is a great watch, and I think you'd be really happy owning it. And it was under $100 on Amazon. Strangely enough, it was listed as a women's watch, but it wears quite large. So I don't think this is a women's watch whatsoever. But I do love this watch, and I think all of you will also love it. So definitely check it out, and I'll see you guys next time.